We are looking at Hannah's backstroke above water. Hannah. We're going to watch this once at full speed just so we can kind of take a look at how your stroke is looking. A little bit of circle, but we're swimming in that open water. That's all right. One thing I want you to pay attention to is something we've talked about in the past, and I know you've heard it before. One of the big things we got to continue to work on is trying to get our head more stable and more still. Got to get our head back, get our neck more relaxed. One thing that happens with swimmers who move their head a lot in backstroke, especially when they're swimming hard, is they tend to try to control things too much. So your head kind of moves around because you're just trying so hard with your shoulder muscles. And you're trying, when you try to control your head, it actually can get a little worse. The good thing is when we do our drills, I'll play this again so you can kind of see, just watch your head. See how it kind of rocks with the body. It's not independent of the body. It's moving with the body. It's moving with the shoulders. You slight head lift as you go into the flags. You have very solid stroke. There's a lot of good fundamentals. I really like a shoulder roll. We'll probably talk about that a little more when we're looking at the underwater. But the above water, you can see you get a really good shoulder roll, and it's kind of emphasized by your head movement. But we need to focus on keeping that head still because it's just a rule of swimming. When the head moves, we tend to go slower. It slows us down. Now we're going to play it a little bit slower, and just so we can see what we've got going on here. So one of the things that we do work on is that shoulder roll, and you can see from this angle, look at that, how your shoulder leads the stroke. Watch this right shoulder. See how that shoulder comes up first? That's exactly what we've been working on. So I'm really, really happy with how you're rolling those shoulders. Really good. Shoulders leading hand, that's what we're talking about. Doing a real good job. You can watch your pinky come in. That was a very, very good example there. You're getting the pinky down. That pinky's down as your hand enters. That's perfect. One thing that I want to say is you can kind of see your shoulders still up, which you can see how you can see your armpit right here, and you can see your hand still above water. That means we're doing a good job of rolling the shoulder up, but we're just a little late getting that shoulder down. You can see that right there. So just like when your hand comes out and your arm comes out, how the shoulder should go first, just like you're doing that, you should do the same thing when your hand comes down. Shoulder needs to roll in, it needs to lead the stroke, and that'll help you get a little bit deeper pull. But I really like how you're getting that pinky down, and I really like kind of how you're positioning, because you're not reaching above your head, which we see a lot with kids your age. You're not quite in that Y position. You're almost there. In that left arm, you're definitely in that Y position, but that right arm there, you're still just reaching a little bit too far above the shoulder. Try and get that right hand a little bit further out so we're in a more natural position to catch. And that'll help you a lot with turnover. Remember, we want to swim that backstroke in that skinny Y position. We don't want to be swimming backstroke in an L position. Or what you're doing right now is what I would call your skinny Y on one side and L on the other, so you're kind of slanted to one direction. So just get that right arm, and it's mainly the right arm that's the culprit. Just get that a little further out as your hand enters, and you're going to find you're having an easier time staying balanced with your stroke. We're going to keep this going. For your age, you have a solid turn. I really like how you plant, nice feet nice wide apart. Now we can see, and we'll see better underwater, but you're a little slanted on your side, which means you're kind of uncomfortable being on your back without a nose clip. And you can see your streamline, your head's tucked perfectly, but your hands, your arms are still a little loose. So you're not quite as tight as you could be. And we'll get a better look at that underwater, but I want you to tuck that away in your head because we got to tighten up that streamline. For backstroke, it's very, very important. Solid breakout, and you can see the head starting to rock with the body again. See that head moving? That's what we got to try to eliminate. We got to keep working on keeping that head still, keeping that head back, and it's going to come from relaxing the neck muscles, not trying to control them too much and not trying to use them too much when we're swimming that backstroke. You're just trying so hard, you're recruiting them as well as your shoulder muscles. So above water, things are looking pretty good. Our shoulders getting up really well on the lead of our stroke as we begin our recovery. As we drive our shoulder in, though, we're a little late. So remember, shoulder needs to lead the stroke up in the air, and it also needs to lead the stroke going down into the water. So here we can see that shift right there. Really good. And just a little bit delayed. We need to get that shoulder down a little bit sooner to begin that stroke. But that really good shoulder roll. I really like how you're rolling the hand over so you're getting that pinky in, getting a good catch to start the water. We'll see that better. And I really like your kick. Your kick's really solid looking here. Knees coming out a little bit, but not too bad. You're keeping a pretty good narrow kick. We'll take a good look at that underwater. So let's go to the underwater video and talk about what we see there.